Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan once more with you from your very own channel Astro Sharif. Today I am bringing to you a topic which I face every now and then when people reach out to me, and that's an important topic, and I see it also as to an extent societal evil, though things are changing now, and hence I am bringing this to you as more as an explanation and an advice, and also as a guide to you how you can take decisions pertaining certain areas of your life. Now, what am I talking about? Every now and then I do get maybe months and months where a girl or a boy reach out to me, and they talk about that they are in love with somebody, and parents are objecting to that relationship because after horoscope matching they have seen that the life of one of the partners is in danger because of the horoscope of another. And it happens both ways. The girl's parents get in touch and say that we don't want the girl to get married to this boy because the boy has strong afflictions in his 7th house. He will mistreat her, he'll beat her up, and the girl's life may be in danger because of domestic violence. And sometimes the boy's parents get in touch and say that, you know what, the girl's horoscope is bad, she is manglik or whatever, some strong affliction in her chart is there, and there is a danger to the boy's life if the boy gets married to this girl, so we are objecting. And the funny thing is, sometimes it happens where it's an intercaste marriage, where suddenly the girl may be from another religion or the boy may be from a different religion, who normally don't do horoscope matching, but the moment the marriage is supposed to happen with somebody who does horoscope matching, they may use this as an excuse also. And the funniest thing is, I have seen an intercaste marriage where neither the boy was from a Hindu family, neither the girl was from a Hindu family, yet they used horoscope matching it's a rare thing but happens, where the boy's parents came forward and said, we don't want our boy to get married to this girl because we have done horoscope matching and there is a danger to the boy's life. So I find it both funny, but it is also sad that sometimes without getting into the bottom of things, without understanding astrology, without understanding placements, and without understanding the meaning of astrology, people resort to all these all these things to maybe separate to people who want to come together and who want to live a life together. Now, sometimes it does happen that there are very serious afflictions and these can be seen. Now, I am doing this video more as a guide to you, where you should be able to see, especially if you are in this situation. If you are the parent of a boy or a girl, and if you do believe in horoscope matching, and what to see and what to not overblow when you are doing horoscope matching. The second is, one is horoscope matching and you want to avoid the relation. Second is that if you find the such afflictions in the horoscope of a loved one, then even after marriage, if you see such affliction, then there can be certain remedies which can also be done to avoid such an eventuality where a girl can be widowed and the boy can also become somebody who may lose become a widower, where he may also lose his spouse. So the title is widowhood, but I am using it for both, for the girl as well as the boy. So what are the placements which are a stronger manifestation of widowhood, either of the girl or the boy becoming a widow or a widower in the horoscope, and what to not get unduly harassed about or anxious about, and which are seemingly docile placements, though there may be some challenges in the horoscope because of them, but not to overblow it. So let's deep dive into what those placements are. Firstly, just because the 7th lord is not well placed doesn't mean, or under affliction doesn't mean that the spouse's life is in danger. So many times that is seen as one attribute of, if the 7th lord is combusted or debilitated or placed with malefics, it is generally seen as a sign that the spouse's life will be in danger if this person marries someone. So one placement doesn't do anything. Just because one placement is bad, it doesn't happen. So 3 or 4 things have to come together to indicate a danger to the spouse's life. That's number 1. Number 2, if the person with whom you are matching the horoscope with, so if a girl has strong afflictions in her horoscope, the 7th lord for example, but if the boy's horoscope is very strong, then too it means that there may be tendencies in the girl's horoscope which show, which is more of a warning to the boy, which he may ignore because his horoscope is very strong. He may unduly put his life in danger. He may not go through any harm, but the danger to the life may be at certain points of life. So the girl's horoscope may be an indicator to the boy that from time to time you should not unduly put your life into danger, because your horoscope is showing that you will escape, but you will go through that. So it's like this: you have a very strong horoscope, in the nick of time you miss an accident, and sometimes you don't think so much. You tell yourself, "Arey yaar, I got saved by a whisker today." But we don't go back to our homes and we don't look into horoscope, we don't see placements and all. We don't do that. We just ignore it. We just cross a signal, and the moment we cross a signal, somebody breaks the signal from the other side, big lorry and all. And this sometimes happens, and we move on in the life. We don't think so much about it. But that could be a sign that in the girl's horoscope that the boy sometimes may have challenges in his life, and he has to be more careful. Though he may escape death, but he may not escape harm. Now, by assuming that it is the girl's horoscope which is bringing harm to the boy is not a right way to look at things. It should be more seen that it should be more seen as the girl's horoscope is more sensitive to pick out those. So it is like we use various instruments in our life, and sometimes some instruments are more sensitive to certain things, some are not. So a seismograph is an instrument which checks the very tiniest of vibrations of the earth, and will also predict when an earthquake could happen, or this is a seismic zone or a earthquake prone zone. So if even if you don't feel the tremors on a day to day because they are very, very weak, but if the vibrations that are captured on the seismograph become stronger and stronger day by day or over weeks, then the department, the seismology department or whatever it is called, they may inform the government or the concerned departments that there is a chance that there is underground activity and a earthquake may happen over such a period of time, and they will also give you a period when that earthquake can happen. Astrology and astrological placement should also be seen as that when such a time will happen, the boy's life may be in danger during such a time, and he has to be a little careful, rather than being seen as the girl's horoscope is causing that in the boy's life. That will not happen, because that manifestation, the chance of that happening is very, very less. Why is it so? Because you cannot be very strongly affected by somebody else's horoscope unless your horoscope somewhere shows some glitch. Now it is a wise thing to say that I have a small glitch, why should I amplify it by getting married to somebody who may add to that challenge? So that is not a unwise thing to think about. But if you think the relationship can be good in all respects, and only when the horoscope matching is coming in, because of which you are avoiding that, because you see that the signs of severe challenge to life, then it's not a fair thing. So that's one. The other thing is, in a girl's horoscope, let's talk about the girl first and then we can talk about the boy. If in the girl's horoscope there are multiple afflictions, then only it will be seen as a severe challenge to the boy's life, but there is no guarantee that the boy may actually die. Now what are such placements where there is a severe challenge to the boy's life? And this is more I am giving you not to tell you that the boy may die, but I am telling you this more as a guide to you where you may be able to do something about it. Say for example, the girl's in the girl's horoscope, the 7th house lord is severely combusted or debilitated. That's one placement. Second, added to that, the 7th lord being combusted or debilitated plus 1 or 2 malefics being placed on it is the added sign, which adds to the chances, increase of chances to the boys, to the relationship, not just to the boy's life yet. Third, if the 6th house also shows strong affliction, then there is a stronger chance that the relationship, both the 7th lord getting combusted or debilitated plus placed with malefics plus 6th house being strongly afflicted, higher and higher chance that the relationship may break. But a physical harm can only be seen only when the 7th house gets combusted either in the 12th house with malefics, or there are more than 3 malefics which are either aspecting the 7th house or being placed with the 7th lord, and added to that the 6th house shows affliction. Let me give you a typical example. Say it is the horoscope of a person whose 7th lord is in the 6th house. Let's take a Aquarius native. Aquarius ascendant, 7th house is the house of Leo, the sign is Leo, and sun goes and gets placed in the 6th house in Cancer sign. Now sun is not weak in Cancer sign, by the way, but if the 7th lord goes into the 6th house, 12th to itself, it shows a strong and serious challenge to the marriage, to the union. But if it comes under the affliction or the aspect of a malefic from the 12th house. Now what is the 12th house? The 12th house is the house of losses and wastage, giving up, even moksha, life going, and it is also the house of hospitals, solitude. So if there is a planet from the 12th house aspecting the sun, which could be either a Saturn or a Mars which is aspecting the sun, then there is a challenge that the life of the spouse could be under danger. However, it will be increased if there are more malefics placed with the sun also. For example, if there is Ketu placed in the 7th house, where there is another malefic such as Mars in the 6th house, when Saturn is aspecting the 6th house from the 12th house, then it's a bigger chance that there may be a stronger challenge to the spouse's life. So just to clarify, what are the placement we are talking about? Aquarius native, Saturn in the 12th house in Capricorn, aspecting Sun in the 6th house. Sun is the 7th lord. Sun is also placed with Mars, which is debilitated, and then so Sun and Mars together show that there could be a sudden blow, severe blow, maybe an accident or a severe disease which could result in hospitalization, post which there could be challenge to life, a severe challenge to life. So the more and more afflictions are there, there is more and more severe challenge to life. But any benefic which gets involved in this aspecting the 7th house or aspecting the sun in the 7th house, to a large extent will reduce the affliction. If Jupiter aspects the 6th house or the 7th house, either with its 5th aspect or even with its 9th aspect, then to large extent the affliction will be reduced. This is one placement. The second placement is if Ketu gets placed with the 7th lord in the 4th house. 4th house is the house of domestic bliss. So while when the 7th lord and Ketu are placed together, and if there is the aspect of a malefic on the 7th house, say a Saturn's malefic is on the 7th house, then too a challenge to the relationship can be seen, and the higher chance of challenge to the relationship or to the life of the native will be seen if the 7th lord is also aspected with another malefic. So for example, if Mars is placed in the Lagna aspecting the 4th house, where 7th lord is placed along with Ketu, then there is a stronger chance that the life of the native can also be under danger if the 7th house is also aspected, say for example by Saturn, either from the 5th house or from the 10th house of Saturn aspects. So there should be 3 or 4 placements which come together. Yet there is no guarantee that there could be harm to life. Though there are multiple shlokas which just by giving one placement they say a widowhood can be seen. I will give you 3 or 4 shlokas sometimes which these are misused to show that the life of a native spouse may be in danger. Varaha Mira in fact has written an entire chapter called Vivaha Patlam, where he has mentioned various placements regarding marriage and also about widowhood. Let's see what some of these shlokas are. Mutaon karoti then kari didva kujaksha. If the sun or Mars occupy the lagna at the time of marriage, the girl will become a widow. So here Varaha Mira is talking about transits. That means at the time of the marriage of the girl, if the sun and Mars are placed in the lagna, then there could be a challenge. The other thing is also if sun and Mars both are placed in the lagna of a girl where both are aspecting the 7th house, but if they are both aspecting the 7th house to an inimical sign, for example, if both of them are aspecting Virgo, if both of them are aspecting Aquarius for example, or if both of them are even aspecting Taurus, then there could be a challenge in the relationship. But if the 7th lord is also afflicted or combusted, then goes to the lagna and gets combusted and under the aspect of another malefic, say for example Saturn from the 11th house, then too there could be a chance that the relationship could be under the spanner and the health of the spouse can also be under a severe spanner. Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Rahu, the Sun and Moon and Venus posited in the 7th house cause perforce widowhood, imprisonment, destruction, decay, loss of wealth, disease, absence in other places and death respectively. So the chances of widowhood are high if 7 planets get in the 7th house, which includes Rahu, which means Ketu gets placed in the lagna. So one has to look at these placements to arrive at a conclusion. However, the chance that all 7 planets are in the 7th house are very rare, and even then the conjunction has to be very, very tight, and plus the transits are very, very important in such a case. If 2 malefics are not transiting over the 7th house together, then the chances that such a thing may come about is rare. And usually the transits of the larger planets, the longer transiting time planets such as Rahu, Saturn and Ketu are important rather than Jupiter, because these 3 planets, Saturn, Rahu and Ketu, have the highest time transiting over a sign, which is close to anywhere between 18 months for Rahu and Ketu to almost 2.5 years for Saturn. So that has to be looked into before one reaches a conclusion whether there is a severe challenge to the native spouse's life or not. One shloka says, Rahur Nabh Swalagato Vidwan Karoti. Rahu in the 10th house causes widowhood. The Sun and Saturn make her addicted to sinful deeds. Mars causes death. The Moon makes her indignant and unchaste, frail. The others, Mercury, Jupiter and Venus, wealthy and beloved of the husband. So if Rahu is placed in the 10th house while 2 malefics or 3 malefics are placed in the 7th house, then the challenge is increased. Why Rahu in the 10th house? If Rahu is in the 10th house, then Ketu is in the 4th house. So Ketu being placed in the 4th house reduces the domestic happiness and mental peace. And if Ketu is in the 4th house while there are 2 or 3 malefics in the 7th house, while 6th house is also afflicted, then too the loss of relationship can come about, which could also be related to the severe impact or challenge to the spouse's life. Shastakshita Chandra Karoti Vidva. Moon in the 6th makes a widow. So the 6th house surely is a strong house of challenge to the union. Moon in the 6th house makes a person always thinking along the lines that should I let go of this relationship, this is too much for me, and I'm not able to handle this. This happens especially Moon is in an inimical sign or a challenging sign to itself. Say for example Moon in Capricorn or Aquarius or in Virgo or in Scorpio is a tough placement for a native, especially for a Gemini native. When Moon goes into the 6th house, Moon rules the 2nd house of family, and family life, and moon goes into the 6th house in Scorpio, and if it's afflicted along with the affliction of the 7th lord as well, that means if Jupiter is severely afflicted, which is the Karaka of husband, then the native's life or the native spouse life could be in danger, especially if it's a girl who we are talking about. The Phaladipika says if Mars occupies the 7th house, then she is likely to be a widow. If both Benefic and Malefic occupy the 7th house, then she is likely to marry again. If Malefics occupy the 8th house in a woman's nativity, then the husband is short-lived. But if Malefics occupy the 2nd house from the ascendant, then she will die first, that is, she is outlived by the husband. Now, simple thing, one spouse will always go before the other spouse. So it's not about who goes first, it is about who goes too early. And now a simple thing to look at whether the spouse will go early or not. Spouse will always go, you will go first or spouse will go first. So, but if it's a long lasting marriage, then you don't worry about who goes first anyways. When do you see early widowhood is the question. Now, early widowhood can only be seen when there is a strong transit which happens either over the 7th house or the 6th house, when there are severe afflictions of any of them. And if that planet which is transiting over the 6th house or 7th house has to be strong malefic like a Saturn or Rahu or Ketu, only when these three go, and to an extent Mars, these 4 planets, and they are either combusted in the Lagna chart, or they are debilitated and they are connected to the 7th house, then only the severe affliction can happen, only when there are multiple other severe afflictions only, and hence the transit should be seen. Now, what is more important is the transit of either Saturn or Ketu or Rahu. Now, when do such placements when connected to the Lagna come? For example, if Saturn and Ketu are placed in the 7th house at the time of the person's birth, then Saturn takes one entire turn only once 28.5 years, roughly between 28.5 years to 30 years. So, only if the girl is planning to get married in the 25th, 26th year, and you know that transit is coming of Saturn over the same place in the 7th house, back over the 7th house after 28 years, then you can say in a couple of years that transit is going to happen. And if there are other severe afflictions of the 6th house as well as malefics getting involved in the 7th house, as Ketu is also there, then only there is a challenge to the life. Then you can always ask the marriage to be delayed by a couple of years and allow the time to pass, so that that severe affliction is reduced, because it has gone. So if that one phase has gone and nothing has happened, even in the marriage is being contemplated, then marriage can go ahead, because the second round of Saturn will come back only after 28.5 years, 29 years. So you should not worry about such a case. If Ketu's transit happens, Ketu transits once in 18 years. So, it's still a long time. So one should not worry too much about it. And various, behavioral as well as care can be taken in terms of that particular period, to keep in mind that that phase is going to be a tough phase. So the best remedy for this is to give a lot of donations of the afflicted planet and help the relationship which is connected to that to that planet. So for example, if Saturn is strongly afflicted, giving donations to old age homes, taking care of people who are old and can't take care of themselves, plus the poor and the destitute, feeding the poor and the destitute severely helps to reduce the affliction to a large extent, and that bad time or bad phase can be avoided. In the boy's horoscope, if Venus is strongly afflicted along with 7th house being afflicted, plus the 6th house having 2 or 3 malefics, then there can be a challenge to the girl's life, because Venus for a boy is also for a man is the woman in his life, plus the 7th lord also being combusted or debilitated, and there are 2 or 3 malefics being present. And then see the transit, what transits happen over the 6th house or the 7th house, they can bring about a challenge to the union or to the girl's life as well, if at all the transit is happening within a few months or couple of years of the marriage happening. But usually such a case, such a coincidence may not always happen, that the placement is there and the transit is happening around that time. Ketu's transit happens once in 18 years. So if somebody is born with Saturn and Ketu, the girl anyways will not just get married at the 18th year. The boy will not get married definitely at his 18th year. So that is easy to comprehend. If Saturn's transit is happening over the 6th or the 7th house for a boy where Venus is strongly afflicted, then it is once in 28 years that happens. So there can be various remedies done for Venus, can also be done about the 7th lord, whatever relationship is. Say moon is the 7th lord, which happens for a Capricorn ascendant native, then taking care of poor people, supporting them, servicing mother, being in the service of mother, seeking her blessings can reduce the affliction. If sun is the 7th lord, then ensuring that your father is happy with you, you are serving the father, will reduce the malefics to a large extent. If it is Jupiter, which is the 7th lord, which happens in the case for a Gemini ascendant native or a Virgo ascendant native, where Jupiter becomes the 7th lord, I'm talking for a boy, respecting your teachers, donating to an education institute, sponsoring a child's education, giving books to an educational institute, giving donations to a spiritual institution can always help reduce the affliction. So friends, look at various placements, and multiple 6-7 afflictions together should bring about challenges to the spouse life, and not just by one placement. Don't think too much, don't over analyze, don't be over anxious and unnecessarily create challenges in your life, because the placement for either your son's horoscope or your daughter's horoscope or who they want to get married shows such placements. Usually such placements may bring about some challenges temporarily, and if you are careful during that phase, that can be avoided. And lifestyle changes where you are more careful if you are driving, especially if your Mars in the 7th house, can help a lot. You are careful in your relationship, you keep donating in the line of the relationship denoted by the 7th house lord if it's afflicted, and serving the poor, serving others, donating in good causes can always bring down the affliction. So friends, look into your horoscope, and if you have such a placement, be more careful and donate in the cause in the line of the 7th lord afflictions, and the Jupiter if you are a girl, or if you are a boy, give causes to Venus, and this will reduce the afflictions to a large extent and avoid unnecessary challenge, even if it's not a severe challenge to life itself. Please like this video, please share this video. If you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. And till some other time with some other video, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.